we're excited to teach you all the things that we have learned through this time frame. So I'm going to just very quickly tell you that these oils have changed my life in many different ways. So we had a very, very sick baby in our home who I was just on literally a critical search to figure out how to heal his little body. At 3 months old, he decided eating food hurt him greatly. And it was because of everything I was putting in and on my body. So we went, or I personally, it was really my journey because it was my body providing him milk, but went on a journey of really just getting rid of all the toxins in our home, changing our diet, implementing crazy changes in our nutrition, which have become popular now, like things like bone broth and fermented foods are all the rage now, which is awesome. When I started this 11 years ago with him, that was not the case. So that is what brought me into this, we call it a crunchy world here in the US. That means like, you know, granola-y, although we don't really eat granola, but you know, like healthy world. So that is really how I started. And really it was about the learning so much about what we put in and on our body has such an impact on our lives. And when you see that in an infant, the drastic changes that can have for them, you know what a big deal that is. And it's just as important for us as it is for little babies, but you see the impact so much more quickly on an infant. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Adi, who's going to talk to us about, you know, how to be aware of what is in our homes.
Hi, everybody. My name's Adi, and I've been using Young Living oils for almost 2 years now. And one of the things that drew me the most to the company was the fact that it was a lifestyle company, that it wasn't just oils, it was everything from cleaning products to makeup to shampoos to you name it, to toothpastes, because when I also started on this journey not so long ago with eating healthy, cutting out gluten, my sister, who's a dermatologist, really educated us about toxins in our home. So I was really excited when I became a member of Young Living that they had all these amazing toxin-free cleaning products, and that was the first thing that I bought outside of my starter kit. So I feel very passionate about toxins, and I love teaching about it. There was a survey done in 2015 that estimated that an average individual pours about 33 liters of chemicals down their drain a year. And what this means is that we're washing our dishes and we're throwing our clothes in the washing machine and using water, and the water's running out into our sea. And what they were finding was that the toxins from these products we were using were causing mutations in our fish and our marine life. So they were finding that male fish started having eggs in their testicles, and they found that 1 in 10 male frogs were actually becoming female. And the reason for this is that all these products that we're using to clean our homes have something in them called endocrine disruptors, which means they disrupt our hormones. They are ingredients or chemicals that mimic hormones in the human body. So just as they can cause havoc to our marine life, they cause havoc to us as humans as well, and disrupt our hormones. And our hormones are very, very important parts of our body because they control our sleep patterns, they control our emotions and how we cope with stress and anxiety, they control our metabolism and how we manage our weight, and very importantly, they control our energy and our reproductive system. So what they're finding is that a lot of people, humans, that have toxins in their home are having huge issues with their reproductive system. So women there are more cases of infertility, there's early onset puberty, there is problems with menstruating, and even an early onset menopause, and even in men, they're finding that these endocrine disruptors were actually they're called xenoestrogens. So they're like a whole lot of estrogen in your body. So in males, they're actually causing men to have low sperm counts, low testosterone, and also have man boobs. And the problem with these fake synthetic hormones is that our body can't get rid of them. So we call it bioaccumulation, where they accumulate in your body And because our body can't get rid of them, and our liver can't break them down and get rid of them like they would with a normal hormone in a human body, they start being stored in our body, and they like to be stored in our fat cells. In fact, I actually heard somebody speak that said that when you have all these synthetic hormones, your body actually produces more fat cells to store them. So that's why people have problems with losing weight. And it's because of all these endocrine disruptors. And the problem with these chemicals and these products that we're using to clean our homes is that there's no regulation. There's no regulation here. There's very little regulation in America. I'm not so sure about, I think Europe's better, but there's still very little regulation. And there's over 3 million different chemicals that we can find in these products, and less than, or just 1% of them are actually tested. So just to read you some statistics, they tested 2,938 of these chemicals, and they found that 884 were toxic, 146 caused tumors, 218 cause reproductive complications, 778 cause acute toxicity, 314 cause biological mutations, and 376 cause skin and eye irritations. And companies don't have to disclose what's in their products. So they hide behind words like fragrance, which is my pet hate, because companies put fragrance on their labels and they can hide up to 300 different toxic chemicals just in that one word, because it's by law, they don't have to disclose what their secrets are for their products and what's giving that scent. So whenever you read the back of your label and you see the word fragrance or parfum, you need to run away. Even those products that say they clean and green in the shops, if you turn it over and you read the ingredients, a lot of them still say they have fragrance in it. And this is called greenwashing, where they say it's clean and good for you, but there's actually are hidden chemicals inside. And the average woman puts on 515 chemicals, she's exposed to 515 chemicals a day, 80 just before she sits down for breakfast. And these are not only in our cleaning products. As Ali said, she got rid of not only her cleaning product, but what she was putting on her body. So it's also found in our beauty products. And companies will say, but there's so little in just the makeup, or so little in the dishwashing soap. But the problem is that a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit somewhere else, it accumulates and accumulates in our body, as I said, and it's called bioaccumulation. And then we can't get rid of it. So we've all learned, who's been down this Young Living journey, that there are better ways to clean your home. There are better ways for beauty, better things to use for beauty. You don't need toxins to be beautiful, and you don't need toxins to clean your home. And we're going to hear some amazing stories later on how these oils have changed people's lives. So I think I'm handing over back to Ali.
To me, I think, to tell you the ways to use. Okay, yeah, so what Adi said is so right. There are so many better ways for us to take care of ourselves, and I'm going to show you just a few ways of how you can use the oils. So I'm going to start with using it aromatically, and I think the way we use it most often aromatically is with our diffusers, which I actually have right here. And these come with your starter kit as well, and a whole lot of really fun light settings, and you can set it for how long you want it to run as well. So that's a really great way to use it. And for aromatic use, it's particularly useful when you're trying to use it for something emotional, because when you smell anything, it has an instant effect on the emotional center of the brain. And it's like the fastest way to help you with stress, with anxiety, with what we're all going through right now. So another way to use it besides diffusing is you could do a scent tent, where you just put a drop of the oil of your choice in your hand, rub your palms together, and then cup it over your nose and mouth, and just breathe in really deeply. So you could combine this with a really good breathing exercise to slow down your breathing if you do need something to help you calm down quickly. It's so effective. And I find this also useful for when you're having respiratory issues. So if you've got a cold or just a cough, you could do it with something like eucalyptus, and it's really so soothing. Another way to use it is like adding eucalyptus to hot water and actually steaming with it when you're not feeling well. It's really fast acting, and yeah, you'll be doing it again and again. Other ways to use diffusers is just basically anything that's kind of close enough to your nose. So I could put a drop on my clothes. You can get diffuser jewelry, which you'll see Ellie wearing actually. And yeah, like I said, on your clothes, you get like diffuser bracelets with wooden beads or lava beads that you could put it on, and your hair. I do make like a serum that I put in my hair, and then I get to smell those oils all day long. And my husband's been putting his on his lockdown beard, and it's working really well. Okay, so moving on, using the oils topically. Most importantly, there's two places where you cannot use your oils, and that's in your eyes and in your ears. Like, don't ever drop oils in eyes and ears. If you do get it into your eyes, you want to flush with something fatty, like a carrier oil or milk, but don't use water. It's just going to make it worse. And then, so with a topical application, you can literally just take some out of the bottle and apply it. Or you could get a roller fitment like this that you could put on the top of your bottle, and then you can roll that directly onto wherever you need it. So for instance, for Endoflex, which we use for energy, I just roll that directly onto my throat, onto the thyroid, whenever I need an energy boost. And I feel that the rollers make my oils last longer than just dropping, so I really love them. I have them on quite a few of my oils, like my Dragon Time and Panaway. And then also you can buy some of the roll-ons like this that come with rollers, like the Calm roller, which I love. It has its own metal roller. If you are buying other rollers, just make sure that you're getting the metal ball or glass ball. Another place to apply topically, like I said, like anywhere on your skin is the largest organ on your body. So wherever you need the oil, especially treating pain or something specific like that, just apply the oil directly there. You can dilute it to help get a better spread. And there are certain oils that definitely feel hot, particularly to sensitive skin, things like peppermint or even the thieves, so you could dilute it. And if you're using your oils with kids, always dilute first. And you can get guidelines for how to do that. Just reach out to whoever helped you. And then one of my favorite places to apply topically is under feet. So you have about 2,000 pores under each foot, and they're like really large pores as well. So also, if you know anything about reflexology, you can pinpoint positions on the foot that help other areas of your body. So yeah, Vitaflex point and applying under the feet is really, really fantastic and gives you good results. Then other ways that we use it topically, in sprays, in like face serums, you can make your own little rubs, or you get like the muscle rub, CBD, that's really effective, creams, and like add it to your shampoo and stuff even. Then taking it internally. This is one of my favorite ways to take my oils. And there's so many ways to do it, but I find like it's really beneficial in certain situations to take it internally rather than topically or aromatically. You can take them in little veggie capsules like this. So take the oils that you'll be using and put a couple drops in here. And then use like coconut oil or something just to top it up to slow down absorption. I also add it sometimes to my Ningxia that I take in the mornings, or to juice or milk. I'll use milk with my son sometimes if it's oils that like don't really have a great taste that he needs to take, and that masks the flavor. Another way to do it for kids is a honey sandwich. So you take your teaspoon, add a little honey, the oils, and then more honey on top, and let them swallow that and lick the spoon. They don't really taste the oils, but they get them in. Fantastic with cooking and baking. There are definitely oils that work really well there. And just when you are drinking your oil, so the things like lemon and orange that you add to water, make sure you're using glass or stainless steel. Even with your diffuser, use a good quality diffuser, because you don't want to put your oils in anything that might leach plastic, and then you end up ingesting or diffusing the plastic. Please note that you can only ingest with Young Living oils. It's the only ones we know are safe to use for ingestion, because you can get, like, you're guaranteed they are pure oils. There's nothing synthetic. There's no nonsense. They aren't diluted with anything strange. It's the real deal, so you can trust them. And that's all from me on ways to use. I'm going to hand back to Ali to tell you a bit about the kits.
I think actually we're going to go to Natasha to talk a little bit more about why Young Living is the only one to ingest.
Thanks, Ellie. So hi everyone, Natasha here. And the reason why is because these oils are actually heaven in a bottle. And if you don't believe me, you can ask the 4 million members worldwide. One of the biggest things I've learned down my wellness journey is that not all essential oils are created the same. I first tried my oils oils that I bought from a local pharmacy, and I found them not to have any sort of effects at all. They just really smelled nice. And I didn't experience the benefit of these essential oils until I bought my premium starter kit that my friend Sam introduced me to. And I started using the oils and felt the benefit, the powerful benefit of them. And as I started using them, I learned more about the company and why the company is so amazing. So the one thing that stuck out for me the most is that they don't compromise on quality. They've got a Ctcl Guarantee. So this means that, well, simply put, that there's a set of standards that help ensure that with every product your family uses, you're enjoying the benefits of global resources, leadership, and over 2 decades of innovation. They're the only company in the world that offer a guaranteed certified therapeutic grade oils through their Ctcl process. It's a promise of integrity. So there are no pesticides used, no chemicals, and no weed killers. So you are certain that whatever you are digesting is 100% natural. They also put through rigorous testing and go directly from the farm to your home. So these oils, not are they only the purest form, but they also, the company itself is committed to running the business ethically and have committed to a sustainable business, which include environmentally conscious methods like reforestation of harvested trees and uplifting the communities around them. So not only do these oils give me comfort and my family, and they honestly have changed my life, but the community, the Young Living community itself, has empowered me, and I've gone down this journey that I actually can't even explain to people. They think I'm a little bit weird when I say that these oils have changed my life, and it is thanks to Young Living. So I'm going to hand over back to Ali to tell us about the starter kits.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Okay, so Young Living has been around for more than 26 years now. And it started off as a nutritional supplement company, then an essential oil company, and has turned into truly an end-to-end lifestyle company. As my daughter likes to say, really the only thing we don't have is hair coloring and nail polish from a lifestyle standpoint. So that can be overwhelming to a new person, is where the heck do you start with all of these options? And so what Young Living has done is they have curated, beautifully curated starter kits. So depending on your country, you can choose between starter kits that are available. So we have an antioxidant drink, which we'll briefly probably mention in one of these talks, called Ningxia Red. We have lots of essential oils. So you can start with the oils, you can start with Ningxia Red, you can start with CBD if you're in the US or South Africa. You can start with our household cleaning, which is our Thieves starter kit. But what we're gonna walk you through today is we're really going to focus on starting with essential oils, because that is what requires a little bit more explanation. You know how to drink, you know how to clean, you know how to brush your teeth, right? So we're going to go through the things that are need a little bit more explanation. So this is an example of a US starter kit. This is what it looks like. It's in a beautiful box. And when you open up the box, you see oils inside of it, so I'm going to try not to let them fall out. So this is the US starter kit. There's actually some things, some goodies underneath there too, and the one here. And it also comes, depending on your country, with a different, there's some diffuser options. So this is one of the diffusers that we have in the US. This is called a Desert Mist. The starter kit in South Africa comes with what's called the Dewdrop diffuser. They're actually identical as far as function. They just look a little different on the outside. So there's lots of different options depending on your country. So with that, we're going to really just talk through how these oils, specifically the starter kit oils, have changed our lives, because every single kit has pretty much everything you need to address the common things that you deal with in your home, except for hormone balancing. So they don't put any of that in the starter kits. But if you want to focus on your respiratory system or your immune system, or aches and joints, or those types of things, that you are pretty much covered in the starter kit with our most favorite and coveted oil and most versatile oils. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Stacy to tell how that starter kit changed things for her.
Thanks so much, Ellie. Hi, everyone. I'm really, really excited to speak tonight a little bit about my journey since being introduced to Young Living oils in the starter kit. So I'm actually a qualified nurse, and even though I don't work as one anymore, I've always been a huge Western mediciner. So much so that I literally have a pharmacy of medicines in my home. And if anyone in my own household or any of my family members had any ailments in the past, they would always phone me up or ask me, from here and say, what do I use, what medicine is that I've got this condition, and I would be able to treat them, tell them exactly what needs to be used, what medicine needs to be used. Despite all the side effects that the medicines had, I didn't realize that there were alternatives that were even more effective than Western medicine. I mean, I knew there were alternatives, but I didn't know how effective, how amazing the oils were. So you can just imagine, also being a nurse and in the medical profession, that to convince me to use anything other than Western medicine was really, really difficult and quite a huge feat. So in April this year, I bought my first starter kit, and since then, my life has completely changed. And I'm going to share a couple of stories with you, if you don't mind listening. So the first one is that I actually suffer a lot from headaches. And in the past, I used to go through a minimum of 20 Panados a month. And why I say Panados and not anything stronger than that is that I've got Crohn's disease, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So the strongest medicine, or the only medicine that I can really take from a painkiller perspective, is Panado. So I was literally popping Panados left, right, and center to help me get rid of my headaches as well as my migraines. And when I got my starter kit, I used a combination of 3 oils: Valor, lavender, and peppermint. And those 3 oils I put on my forehead, on my temples and the back of my neck, and within minutes, my headache would start actually being relieved. I can't begin to actually explain how quickly these oils work. It's just absolutely phenomenal. On the occasions where I've had migraines as well, what I have done is, just because I want to make sure that I just annihilate this headache, is I take frankincense and I put it on my thumb, and I actually just I push it onto my palate. And I use that as well as my 3 oils, my Valor, lavender, and peppermint. And literally, also within seconds of starting or using that frankincense on my palate and the other oils, the headache just starts dissipating and relieving. Absolutely amazing. So no more Panado for me. Then just from a neck, back, and shoulder pain perspective, I also, from a tension perspective and sitting in front of a computer the whole time, Valor, lavender, and peppermint are my absolute go-tos. So much so, in actual fact, that within the first month of getting my kit, I decided that even though I hadn't even hardly used them, I thought, okay, I have to order 15 more bottles of all 3 of those, because I just want to make sure that I don't ever run out of that. Just talking about Valor, though, how amazing Valor is on top of everything else, is it's brought the most incredible sense of calm into my home. It also helps my daughter. She suffers from anxiety and palpitations at night, and when she gets them, all I do is I say, take this Valor and just rub it onto your, over your heart, and I promise you're going to be fine. And she does it, and she goes to bed and she goes to sleep, and she's absolutely fine. And those palpitations also dissipate almost by the time she leaves my room. Those are Valor, lavender, and peppermint. Now I want to talk about another story with my younger daughter, who had full-blown tonsillitis. Tonsillitis so bad that her tonsils were so swollen, she had pus on her tonsils. And in normal circumstances, before the kit days, I would have phoned the doctor and said, please, I need a script for an antibiotic. and I would have put her onto an antibiotic with immediate effect for at least 10 days. What I decided to do was I got some advice from our beautiful, we have such a beautiful support group with regards to the oils, and I was told to put a drop of these in a cup of hot water with some lemon juice and honey and give it to her twice a day. So she started with the tonsillitis on Friday night, gave her the tea on Friday night. Saturday morning I gave it to her again. She said, "Mom, I can't tell you, my throat's already starting to feel better. It's not so sore." By Saturday night, I looked into her throat and the pus was completely gone. And by Sunday morning, tonsils back to normal. Now, just to explain to you that in normal circumstances, antibiotics for 10 days, probiotics for another month thereafter to try and get her gut flora back to normal. And I avoided all of that just with one oil, Thieves, from the kit. So, I mean, just unbelievable. Then both my daughters are asthmatic. My one daughter loves doing a scent tent with eucalyptus. She says that as she breathes that eucalyptus in from that scent tent, she just can feel everything starting to open from her nose, down her throat, right into the depths of her lungs. And just absolutely fantastic. My other daughter prefers RC. In actual fact, we put RC into her diffuser at night with peace and calming to help her sleep. She also has the most beautiful, peaceful night, being able to breathe without getting the stuffy nose, also incredible. Talking of sleep, I never used to be the best sleeper, and because I'm so hyped up and such a workaholic and my mind's always so busy, is that I would basically get about 3 hours a night and wake up, and then my mind would be busy and I'd just get up and start working. Until I started using Valor and Peace and Calming. I use both of those at night together. I rub it on, my neck, the back of my neck, by my ears, and I actually put it under my feet as well, like Serena was explaining. And now I get 7 to 8 hours sleep a night, and I wake up so incredibly refreshed. I can't tell you, I haven't felt like this in years. It's just amazing. I did say that I would touch on my Crohn's. So I do have Crohn's disease, and I suffer from, a stomach cramps every now and again when I eat something that disagrees with me. And if I didn't used to take a Buscopan, which is what we use in South Africa for cramps and other things, there was nothing that would be able to actually kind of settle my stomach. I use Diagize now. I don't touch Buscopan. And literally Diagize within seconds helps with that, that crampy feeling and that nausea. It's just absolutely amazing. And then finally, I also have a very, very hectic work schedule, and I really need to be on top of my game for work. And by doing scent tents every single morning with citrus oils from the kit, I cannot tell you how much more focused I am in my meetings for the day. And it just gives me the energy and I don't know what word to actually use, but just the power to go on and be in these back-to-back meetings every single day and be able to focus and be on top of it all. So in essence, I've literally used every single oil that's in my kit. Even though I haven't spoken about all of them, they've really, really helped my family. And knowing that we're using these oils that only have positive side effects, that are so powerful and so pure, is just phenomenal. And the fact that these oils just work absolutely instantaneously, within seconds, within minutes they work. And it's so unbelievable that until you try it, like it's just, you have to try it. So they've changed my life. They've changed the life of my family. And I haven't touched Western medicine since I got my kit. So to be able to treat my entire family, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my sister-in-law, my brother, my brother-in-law, with essential oils have just, and they've all seen the incredible effects of these oils, that they've fallen in love with them as much as I have. And it just makes me want to share this story so that you can be part of this journey too. So with that being said, I'd like to now hand over to Amy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy from Texas. I've been using oils for almost 6 years now. I am not crunchy. I would head straight for Excedrin migraine for my migraine medicines. I would head to Advil for body aches, Aleve. I'm telling you that because I know not everybody here is in the same place on their health journey, as I am not in the same place as many of you, but I truly use the oils daily. Something funny happened is that I only take my children into the pediatrician for their well checks. And sometimes I don't even see their doctor because it's truly just a well check. My girl's pediatrician, I missed her entire pregnancy and her entire maternity leave because we weren't going to the doctors much. So I found that alone is worth it. I actually have a few different stories. I chose to get my premium starter kit because I really just like the smells. If nothing else, they just smell yummy and good and fresh. And that was truly, and I only knew this when I enrolled, I just liked that they smelled good. But I have a very hard time drinking water. I used to be very addicted to plain Coke, not even Diet Coke, and would drink several a day. And I knew that I needed to increase my water intake. So I got, you can't see it because of my background probably, but I got a stainless steel cup and started adding lemon essential oil to it. And I found a couple of amazing things. I was drinking, this water bottle's 24 ounces. I was filling it up 2 to 3 times a day now and drinking it all the time. So I really felt healthier and cleaner. And that's one side effect of lemon besides tasting yummy. It really does clean out toxins from your body and makes you feel better. I've now switched up, and Citrus Fresh is also in the premium starter kit here in America. So I now use that. I've used that in my water. You name it, I've probably put it in my water. I've tried peppermint. Be very careful because it's a very powerful oil. 1 drop is really all it takes. So that was my first story with lemon. It was actually the very first bottle I ran out of, was because I was putting it in my water and drinking it every day. But there was a time when my oldest daughter, who's now 13, got a really bad cough. And I had been using the cough suppressants because that's what you did. And I texted Allie and I'm like, it's not working. And she goes, without being judgmental, even though I'm sure she was thinking, well, of course it's not working. She told me to do a honey sandwich with a drop of frankincense. If you've ever tasted frankincense, Stacy probably knows, it's not the best tasting oil out there, which is why you want to put it in a spoonful of honey. My husband had left to go run some errands. He came home and was like, did you give her more medicine? I said, I totally forgot, but she hasn't coughed in 30 minutes. I did it for like every night before bed for like 2 more nights, and the cough was truly gone. In Texas, the saying is, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. We're in the middle of August. We've been averaging the high 90s. Today it's 78. So you can imagine what that is doing to the allergies my kids are now having because it's not typical Texas weather. We've been diffusing Raven, which is in the premium starter kit here, and Thieves to build up their immune and kind of knock out all of the snottiness that they've been having. So those are kind of my stories. And like I said, I'm still on my journey. I do only mop now with vinegar and purification, which smells so good. And I almost don't I don't mind mopping now. And I was using like bleaches and all that, which really just kills you inside and out. So I'm still on my journey. I'm still getting more for, on my journey towards natural health, but I couldn't have done it without the premium starter kit. Okay, I'm handing it off.
Hi everybody, I'm Taryn and I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. And I was introduced to the Young Living Kit in January. And what had happened was that before I met the team and everybody, I'd actually started looking for essential oils that I could actually start using in my home. because what had happened was that a product was introduced into South Africa, which was a laundry detergent. And what it actually had done was that it actually had caused my husband such a skin rash that it actually shocked me. And then immediately I thought to myself, this is the reason I'm going to sign up with Young Living, because I don't want chemicals in my family. I don't want things hurting my skin, hurting my son who's 5 years old. He's got a long life to live. So I was super excited when I first got my kit in January, and I started using all of it. But the oil that I'm going to speak about is Pain Away. And about that was that Pain Away has got these beautiful oils in them, which has got wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and peppermint. And it basically helps the body with reduction in pain, inflammation. It increases circulation in the body and speeds up healing. And recently, my mother-in-law fractured her arm. And then I immediately ordered the Pain Away. And while it was being shipped to Cape Town, I explained to her what the oil was, I explained the benefits of it, and I told her, get excited because this is going to help you. And then she basically said, she was a bit hesitant because she's actually a retired nurse. So she has this idea that buying medicine over the counter would be the first choice in the situation with her arm. And then when she finally got the oils, she phoned me up 2 days later to say, this is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. She wants to sign up with Young Living. She wants to get her own kit. And she couldn't. And the other thing was, that was so funny. She said she had the best sleep ever. And then afterwards, when I thought about what she said, was that it wasn't that Pain Away had given her the best sleep. It was that it gave her the relief so the body could relax, so she could have a good night's sleep. So I'm ecstatic that I could actually help her, because she's 75 years old. So in that sense of the word, I'm ecstatic, and I'm like just happy to actually be on the journey with everybody and have more stories to tell. So yeah, thank you. And back to you, Ali.
I think that I am up next. We actually have one more story. Sorry.
Oh, do we? Oh,
So Taryn was going to tell her story really fast too, and then you're next, Julie.
Cool, Julie.
I mean, Lynn, sorry. Taryn, you just went to tell you that. Lynn.
I was just messaging you to say, am I still talking?
Sorry.
Okay, hi, I'm Lynn. I'm from Cape Town, and I have been on an oily journey since just before lockdown, actually. A very good friend of mine who is on call tonight introduced me to the oils because she had seen such major transformations in her own family. And I think one of the main reasons why she introduced me to the oils was because we have quite a few like emotional challenges that we deal with as a family. And she thought it would be really good for me to support my family with the oils. I'm also a life coach. And with coaching comes a whole lot of emotional challenges for clients as well. And so it was a perfect fit to integrate with my current business. Well, one, I wasn't convinced. I must just tell you, I wasn't convinced. When she was chatting to me about it and telling me all of these amazing stories and testimonies, I was like, okay, yes. And I was telling her about an issue that my son was having with anxiety and his immune system. And to kind of convince me, what she did was she made me, or she gave me oils to make a potion. So she sent me away with some oils and told me exactly what to do, and I put them together and I made a little spray, which he could use under his feet, because you know teenagers have their own ideas about what is right and wrong. So it was something he didn't have to swallow. He could just like spray it under his feet. And it helped with not only his anxiety, but also his immune system. Like, I think there was thieves in it and eucalyptus and a few other things. But nonetheless, I was sold. The next week I ordered my starter kit, and about 1 or 2 weeks into lockdown, my starter kit actually arrived, it was delivered. And the rest is history. The oils in the starter kit was all I had for the first month or two. And I literally used them for absolutely everything. I've just got like a few stories that I want to tell. So obviously the thieves and the eucalyptus were really great for supporting our immune system at the time, going into the COVID lockdown and, you know, being stressed and worried about all sorts of things, diffusing those and just using even just those two basics along with lemon essential oil in an immune roller, because I didn't have like a wide variety, only had the starter kit. Those really helped just to keep our immune systems going. And then my husband, who was not convinced about these little bottles of like magic that I was telling him about, then did become a very big fan when his sinuses started acting up. And I promptly told him that he must use some frankincense on his thumb into his palate to help with his itchy, scratchy throat. We also made him a nose spray and a throat spray with lavender. I think we used thieves. I've got it all here in my little recipe book. So we made him a nose spray and a throat spray, and he saw immediate results in that. Then we also I used frankincense, which is my absolute go-to oil for all my skincare products, which I then proceeded to DIY. I made myself face wash, I made myself moisturizer, I made myself a glow serum, all the things, because as you all have heard, there are just so many chemicals. And I think once you start hearing the scary, scary stats, you have to just go in and make these changes. You have to make a choice. And so that's what I did. Purification, I used those in my skincare products as well. And then one of the biggest stories that I think really, really has completely changed my life, as I mentioned earlier on, my son suffers from anxiety. And he's 13. And for the entire 13 years of his life, he has never slept through the night. So when I tell you I worked in corporate for how many years, I would get called in the night, Mom, come to my room, have a panic attack, put the nightlight on, all of those things. And as you can imagine, there was the struggling to fall asleep. All of that was an issue for us. So I think one of the biggest things for us that changed with the introduction of essential oils was that we started experimenting with different oils, and we found the combinations that actually work to calm him to the point where he could fall asleep at night and actually sleep through the night. So for us, after 13 years of struggling with something, to be able to have such breakthrough was unbelievable. And given it did take us a little while and a little bit of experimentation with the different oils and different combinations to find the oils that worked, it has absolutely transformed our lives now that we know which oils work for what. The starter kit oils are an amazing basic range to start with. They really are the foundation. We went through 2 months of just working with the starter kit oils and finding so much value. And my life will forever be changed. So when your friend who has invited you to this call tonight tells you that the oils are going to change your life, believe them. And if you don't, ask them to make you a potion to convince you, because your lives are never going to be the same. Thanks.
Awesome story, Lynn. Thank you so much. And as you can tell, with our group, the phrase, and with Young Living, the phrase sharing is caring really does ring true. And so that's what I'm here to talk to you about, is that we are your people. We are your oily tribe. We care about you. We are here to share the amazing experiences that we've had so that you can
find your own journey and your own path with oils and with supplements and other products with Young Living. And some of the ways that we do that is you get a lot of support from this team here. We are all in this together, and we have Facebook groups and we have WhatsApp chats, and you have a personal connection with the person who invited you even here that you can contact for questions. And we all, every day, I think somebody is asking something new, and we're all learning from it, and we're all experimenting on our own and figuring out what works for the people in our lives that we care about. And so in addition to just the digital support, you have the Young Living website. There's also a blog that provides a lot of fun recipes and seasonal tips. Like I just read a blog post about mocktails using oils, and I am all over that, people. I am in the mood for a mocktail as soon as I wake up. So I mean, it's like safe to drink during the day. So it's like having a cocktail during the day, which is so fun that this is my job. But anyway, that's what this does. This is all of us together. And so there are other resources that are books that we can share with you that have taught us a lot about specific challenges or specific support needs. There is an amazing app as well as a hardback book that you can get that really is like the science behind the oils and a lot of things that you would be looking for. And your team plugs you in to all of these resources. So if you're on this call and you're new, welcome, and know that if it feels overwhelming, then that's just because it's a really exciting time for you to dive in and for us to be here to support you and serve you and let you have this amazing experiences that we've already had and that we're continuing to have. So with that, I'm going to let Allie share 3 ways to save.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. I love hearing everyone's stories. Like I can't explain to you how this fills my cup because I'm so passionate about helping others, and that is like, it feels so good when everyone tells their stories. I haven't heard any of these stories that I heard today, by the way. This is all totally new to me, except for Amy's, because I happen to be involved in the frankincense story, but the rest of them I had not heard, so that's amazing. So there are 3 ways to save money with Young Living. And so I think we all are in the mode of trying to save money right now, which is really important. The first is to get a starter kit. The starter kit is drastically discounted then from buying things individually. You get your diffuser, you get your oils, or you can start with a Thieves kit if you want to start with that, or the CBD kit, or the Ningxia Red kit. But either way, the kits are all discounted. So it's always recommended to get the kit. Not only that, but when you buy a starter kit with Young Living, you become a member. And what that means is that you get access to 24% off the entire product catalog. So it's really like a no-brainer. Like if you're friends with someone, friends don't let friends buy retail. Friends only let friends buy wholesale. You should buy a kit to get wholesale. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have an amazing loyalty program. The loyalty program is optional, completely optional, but if you've started using these oils, you've realized it's required because like you're gonna wanna buy more things to try as you wanna detox your home and change your lifestyle. And when you do it through the loyalty program, you get a percentage back of everything you buy, and you get free gifts as well. So the first 3 months you're on the loyalty program, it's called Essential Rewards. You get 10% back in the first 3 months, then it jumps to 20% back after the first 3 months. And then after 2 years, you get 25% back. That goes into basically a bucket that works like Young Living play money that you can just go on a spending spree when you so choose, or when you are in dire need of something and you don't want to spend your actual cash for it. It just sits there waiting to be spent by you. So that is awesome. And then every month there's free promos. So you get to see, everyone is like so excited the night before the promos come out to see what is going to be the promo for the next month. So check with your team in your country and you can see what those promos are. And when you enroll with the kit, you automatically qualify for the first promo if you join Essential Rewards right when you join. So that's amazing. And the third way is you're going to be like the rest of us here, and you are going to become obsessed with these oils. Like seriously, and I haven't even, like I said, I haven't even heard several of these stories, and I'm like, everyone is obsessed. And when you're obsessed with something, especially when you're a woman, we tell our friends, like, that's what we do. It's our job to make sure that everyone else can enjoy whatever we're enjoying. So when you do that, Young Living is very passionate that no one should have to pay for natural health. So how they set up the company is if you refer someone, Young Living sends you a thank you check for referring someone. So when you become a member, you have a member number, and you just give that to the person that you help. And that also, most importantly, not only gives you a thank you check, but ties you into all the team resources so that they get plugged into the resources that they need, so that you can really, that you can really give them the advantage of learning how to use all these things, because we do have a lot of products which can be overwhelming, but it's not overwhelming when you can just type in a chat, hey, what do I use for this? And someone answers you, or you have access to all the apps and tools that we have. So those are the ways to save money. And we'd love for you to do that. So please reach out to the person who invited you here. They will plug you in to their resources and make sure that you are taken care of and handheld through your journey. So also, I did mention the fact that if you do want to share with others, that's an option. So if this is, a stretch for you to buy a starter kit, I would suggest you come to the class tomorrow night if you're interested in the income opportunity, which again is only optional. This is, if you would like to share and help others, that is always open to you. If that's not your, doesn't feel comfortable for you, or that's not your interest, no big deal. But we do have a class tomorrow about how to share Young Living in a focused way. So same time, same place tomorrow. So that is all for our class today.